Hello, hello. How are you? I love you. Good to see you. A helicopter is going to be flying nearby that you hear in the background. This is the 11/19/24 energy update. Here's what we're going to be covering, so stick around. One is stormy weather approaching, both literally and figuratively. I'm going to go into more detail on that. Two is clean house energetically. We've been working on that all along. Three is become conscious of how you are contributing to the division in our world. So we're going to go over that. And then to start this off, I am going to just share with you a couple things that have been going on with me that, like, it's been heavy duty. The energies have been feeling heavy duty. And yet, I'm recording this the day after, so it's actually the 20th, but I did my reading and everything yesterday and made notes on it, but could only make it today. So yesterday was when Pluto moved into Aquarius, and I woke up in the morning and the energy was really heavy, like heavy, dense. Not, I wouldn't say like depressive or anything. It just felt like heavy, like a heaviness, like there's like without joy, without happiness, without just kind of this um, I don't know how to put a word to it. I'm not sure it needs a word. It was just, it felt like it didn't feel like I was heavy, but walking through, like if it would be, I wasn't walking, I was just laying in my bed when I woke up. It felt like a wash of heavy energy, and it might be that that heavy energy is moving, which hopefully that is, it's moving, and it's going to continue moving, and as it moves it will transform, because later in the day it did feel better, more lighter. There's a lot I'm noticing with myself and with my clients and friends, that there is a lot of revisiting old stories and beliefs that you thought were you had healed the conditioning from, or just bringing up. It's kind of like, it's like the house is all clean, right? And you have somebody that's coming to move in, and you do a last overview to make sure, you know, you didn't leave anything behind, there's no dust, you forgot to sweep up something, you know, so you're just going through and making sure everything is like you want it to be moving forward, for some, you know, good, and for somebody to come move into, or for you to feel really good moving into. And so it's just a repeated sweep through and fine tuning, right? That's happening. And I'm also noticing weird physical stuff. Like last night I was just sitting down with my feet up, and all of a sudden part of my foot started to hurt and ache, and just went into this pain where it hurt for me to walk on it. And I kind of ran away with the story about what's happening. And then I asked Source and my team and Spirit to please heal this. And then I also remembered, as you know, I have a video on ascension symptoms, and you guys should really look at that so that you know, you have an idea of all the stuff that comes up. There's a lot of things that come up as your body is changing and growing. And I've had a lot of energy coming in, and a lot of energy going out. So in these last few weeks, it's been very active and feels very deep. I also feel like at night I am being shown things that will happen in the future, and they're showing me as much as I can handle, so I can learn to handle it. You know, so it's like so I'll be able to hold space for people to go through the things that they need to be able to go through, and I won't be like, you know, like in shock or whatever it is that I would be. It would be like, oh, I've got this. I can manage my emotions. I can manage my mind in order to serve others in learning how to do that or get through something. So I don't know if for you guys too, that you're experiencing teachings, and how I kind of think that this is going on is because as I'm coming back in between that sleep and wakefulness, I'll be like, it'll feel like a lesson. It'll feel like it was like, oh yeah. And I have a kind of this knowingness of not all the details, but just coming out and then coming back here, like definitely coming back into my body here. And so that's been going on. And then the stuff I'm going to share with you now, the 3 points that I'm making on this energy update, are involved in that too. And some of these, again, I've mentioned earlier, but we're looking, each time I kind of look at it, it comes in like a different way. Again, like we're fine tuning and looking at different aspects of yourself. Like it's a good time to cleanse this part of you. So stormy weather approaching. So both literally and figuratively. So how to be calm in the storm. So let's if it's literal, and I do want to say literal because there are people who are playing with seeding the sky for certain weather patterns. The weather can be manipulated. Whether you've seen it or not, it is being manipulated, and that's why we're having all these wild storms. And they don't know, like seeding one place and doing something another place, they don't realize what they're doing to the rest of our planet, or even to the solar system, to the universes. So not everything is a known as people are experimenting with playing with the weather. So I highly recommend, and the guides are highly recommending, that you prepare. I mean, what are the things I have? Prepare, practice, community. So prepare for literally, like really think like the weather is not what it used to be. The weather is not going to stay the same. Weather is shifting, and there's all sorts of things that are happening with our planet, that could happen with our planet, pole shifts, etc., all the solar flares and stuff that are happening from the sun and CMEs, which are affecting the weather here on Earth also, the electromagnetic field, and our energies. So a lot of things are changing. We are really in the pioneers in the unknown. And so be prepared, be a good Girl Scout, Boy Scout, have extra food on hand, have water on hand, get a generator if you can. Just think, what would I need how am I going to communicate with people if there's no power? So have solar chargers for your phones. But again, I'm not sure how that will work, but there's walkie-talkies that they have now, so that can work at great distance. Having your car always have a full tank of gas. If you're hearing get out. So really just having, and not to scare you, but just again, if you're prepared, then it isn't as hard as if you're unconscious and you have no idea and you didn't do anything to get prepared. So prepared, like here in California, we prepare for fires. So we have containers that have, camping stuff in it and food in it, and so we can can't go camping on the land if we need to. We can cook. We have places to sleep and food for ourselves and the dog, and if needed, I have food here for other people if people don't have. So how can we start thinking also in a community, what are the areas that would get flooded? So if you if you're in a big flood area in certain places, then you might want to look at your insurance again. And insurance companies are crazy these days, so I don't even know if you can get insurance. He's here in the United States. So, but it's like prepare. So where would you go? If something's happening, where you like have an escape plan. We used to, when I had my family back east and stuff, we had a 2-story house. We had escape plans for the kids. We had ladders that they could hook on their windows and climb out of. We actually had a 3-story house at one time, Victorian, and so it's like, what is your escape plan? Where would you, if there was, a chance of a tsunami, where would you drive to? Where's the high spots, right? I live on the coast, so that is a condition for us. If there's a fire, how do you get out of here? What route are you going to take? What do you need, etc. I think also having extra medicines around. If you have to take certain medicines that are life and death threatening, or like hormones and stuff like that, that if you're off for a while will screw with your mind and yourself physically, see if you can have extras of those around, like an extra month or so of them around, so if you do need them. So again, think how do I need to prepare? What are certain clothes? Like if it's going to be a rain thing, get rain boots. Again, just thinking, really imagine, not to scare you, not to put you into it, but just like, what would that be like? Maybe like look at North Carolina, look at some of the other areas that have had fires, floods, etc. Look at what they're having to go through, and what do they need? How did they prepare? Were they prepared? What would they need? Like some of them have nothing, no clothes, nothing, no underwear, nothing, and they have to start from scratch. And so, what is it that would make you feel secure and safe, rather than totally freaking out? Which I know, again, it's traumatic, but if you can have like a plan A, B, C, it really does help your mind not go into so much stress. And if you can like keep a backpack in your car with a pair of underwear, jeans, and a shirt, and rain jacket, etc. Just have an extra and have that in your car, and some shoes, boots, or whatever, so that no matter what happens, that you have that toothbrush and medicines, or whatever you need, dog food, etc., or cat food. That really, that just helps you be like, okay, if something happens, to the best of our ability, we've got this, and we can know what friends we can go to. We know what hotel to call. We know elevations. We so that you have different choices. And then what I would add to that, so we're staying with the literal, right, is that connect with your community, just in your neighborhood. Who would need help getting out? Is there some older folks? Is there, who is in your community? Like, I love walking around and saying hi and introducing myself to the community, because we were fairly new. We built a new house here, and so a lot of people had been here, and there are some rentals here, but just kind of introducing ourselves. And the more that we can get to know people and how to help each other. And then also I hear people talking about like who's good at what, so if this neighborhood was unaffected by something, but we're cut off, like how can we help each other? What are our skills and talents and gifts that we can really help each other? Some of the things that I have are like, I'm very holistic, so I got a lot of the holistic stuff, the homeopathic and natural healing things, just a lot of the stuff that would that people would need, immune boosters, and just different things that I use and that I've used on others, and good for bacteria, antibiotics, just different stuff like that. And I have those anti-inflammatories, etc. And I have that in case we need it, and friends or neighbors or whatever need it. We have land that we can grow food on, and so do our neighbors and stuff. And we all have talents. Jeff can work on cars. I can be very therapeutic, etc. So just looking at what we, how we can support each other. And I know for some of you, you're probably like, oh my God, I'm not going to worry about this. This is ridiculous. Nothing's going to happen. And I'm saying for the next 3 years, at least, and even big time next year and a half, we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. There's a whole lot of change that's coming, that I get intuitively, that I also hear from others who are very attuned to energies, astrology, a lot of things that are happening, and this will serve you, again, to help you, make you feel safe, to help feel on purpose, and to build that community, that you're working together, that you're not alone. And yeah, it's just, I think, a really good thing about how, so we're starting to come together. And this will go to the last number 3, but community is super important. I keep saying that. I've been saying that for a year or 2 years. I don't remember how long, but it's really important right now. And when you get in that community, then other people have other ideas and different things, and it can teach you things, how to make water when there's no water. We'll have ways of, a stove that you can cook on, a gas stove, or camping stoves, etc. There's all different ways that we can help each other figure these things out. So this is why community, even if you're a college student on your own, learn who your community is around you. Learn, find some trusted people in there that you can count on, so you don't feel, if something happens, that you don't have to feel alone and like you're doing this on your own, that that there's other people who are willing to support you and be around you, and that you can all take care of each other. Okay, so let's do it figuratively now. So stormy weather approaching is also, times, so not necessarily the weather, but what do I want to say, like revolutions, like people dividing, just people rising up and saying they want things to be different, and government wanting it to be a different way. Whether you're here in the United States or around the world, this is happening all over the world. And what I said about the literal weather is all around the world, not just here in the United States. When I do these energy readings, they're for the world. And so it is, and again, you know what, when I was younger, I didn't give a shit about politics. I didn't give a shit about history. I was just living my life, having a good old time. It was when I got pregnant, and all of a sudden I had a child to take care of, that all of a sudden I started looking. I'd get history when I would travel, and then I would see the benefit of traveling and being able to talk to people about their history. And because the United States is so big, and we don't have another country next to us, I didn't care that much about history. and in sharing that, and politics, it didn't matter to me. And so I know there's a lot of you millennials who don't have children, who don't own a home, who are on your own, a lot of you sensitives who are isolating, and who are just your life or is might be feeling limited, not feeling that you have all the advantages that earlier generations had, or older generations had, that you're working really hard and you're burnt out and you don't have time or money for much enjoying life, etc., like that. And you also are doing a lot of stuff on social media instead of in person. And I would highly advise and recommend that you start reaching out to people in person around you, in your neighborhood. Find people who are aligned with your energy, with your find people who are good, kind, caring, conscious people, and learn from them, and reach out, and have that be in your neighborhood. Like, that's part of your preparing, is making new friends. Part of preparing is making new friends. When COVID started happening, I would say that I was an outsider in that, and so there were a lot of people who did not, in my immediate arena of life, did not see COVID the same way that I was experiencing it. So I looked at who I knew, acquaintances or people that I knew a little better than that, who were interested in exploring, asking questions, not just doing what somebody told us, especially when our intuition and gut told us not to. And so I established a weekly group, and that we met like every Friday morning at a coffee shop, and we all brought together what we learned, and each of us was like interested in different areas of it, or would be hearing different things, and we could bring information and share that, and talk about it. At least we had somebody to talk about it with, and saw that we were not alone. So stormy weather approaching is, again, one of the things that has happened since COVID too is this division. Yes, it was happening a long time before. Black, white, right, wrong, Democrat, Republican, educated, not educated, wealthy, not wealthy, all these, Me Too, etc. Just all of these things that were just dividing people, dividing. You're not this, you're not that, you're blah, 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 blah. Putting labels, lots of labels. And it was just making people like you couldn't be with people who didn't think the same way you are. And like, I lost a friend that I thought was a good friend over COVID, because she wouldn't look at research, and she just had to be right. So it was just like, it was in her head, and she would not read anything. And I know many other people like this, and they just had to be right and make you wrong. And that's kind of, that I want you to realize, has been programmed. So there is programmed, you have been programmed what to think, and how to think about things, and what to get irritated about. And there's a lot of programming that has been going on in mainstream media, magazines, news, PBS, all sorts of the magazines, commercials, all sorts of things. It's just you, and if you watch those all the time and read those all the time, different magazines, different newspapers, they all have a slant, and they're all feeding you this information to think like this, think like this, think like this. Education. Think like this. Don't think out of the box. You've got to think in the box. You can't be part of this education unless you are, play the game we want you to play it, not the game that you think is best for you to play. Or this is how we want you to learn, not what's important to you to learn. So it's you becoming more, and your preparation is becoming more, what do I want to say? What is the word I'm looking for? Discerning, more sovereign, like to check in with yourself. How does this feel to me? Does this feel right? Connecting with other people. What do I really believe? Are my beliefs about what I believe about a Democrat, what I believe about being a Republican? I'm just that because my family voted that way and my grandparents voted that way and their grandparents voted. Am I that way because I benefit from it in some way? Do I just not want to think about things, so I give all my power away to let other people do the choosing for me? That's fine. That's fine if that's what you choose, but I want you to be conscious about what you're choosing. And so anyway, prepare by finding community and people around you. So I'm saying that my whole point was you can find people that you can learn from and relate to. And I want to say also that I remember when we were, having different opinions was not a bad thing. It was a good thing. Like, we could sit around and philosophize and talk politics, and there would be a whole range of people, Democrats, Republicans, Muslims, Jews, from, people from all over the world, different things coming in with different ideas. There would be, the hippie, the millionaire, the athlete, the intellect. It would be all over the place, and we would have the most interesting, fun conversations, and nobody was making anybody feel bad because they had that perspective. And we would ask questions and we would share information. But I see it this way. What about that? And people would be open-minded to think about that, and you didn't care. You weren't trying to change somebody else's mind. You were just sharing how you saw the world, because how each of us sees the world is right in our mind. And for the 7 billion people on the planet, we each see the world and experience the world differently. Ooh, I'm taking a lot of time on this, but I think it's really important. And so anyway, if you have those people in your life and you have community and you feel supported and you feel safe, to a certain extent, right? You don't have to be worrying then when something happens. You've got things in place, and you've got you know where to go. You know actions to take. People who will support you. You can make calls. You can do whatever, but you have plans and you have community, which are super important. And you can keep practicing connecting with your neighbors, practice making friends and having conversations about how you can support each other, about the world, etc. All right, let me move on. So I'm not taking up on time. I can't see how much time I've had. Clean house energetically. So this is part of that. How to clean. Cleaning out limiting habits. And so the cleaning house means for you to become conscious of observing your life. Conscious, like you're sitting back here and you're watching your unconscious self making creating the habits that you do. Like you get out of bed on the certain side of the bed, you brush your teeth with the same hand, or you go through the same, whether you brush your teeth first and then go to the bathroom first, brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower, eat, etc. What is your daily routine? Where is the unconsciousness in it that if you go to work the same way or you set things up the same way, for you to start watching and see, is there a better way for you to start your day? Like that's one of the things. Like start your day with breathing, start your day imagining your day, start your day imagining the feelings that you want to create in your day, 1 or 2 feelings that you want to have flowing through the rest of your day. Seeing your day set up in a way that is really supportive, and there's a lot of potential and beingness in your day, so that you're not starting your day thinking, oh shit, it's going to be a hard day, I've got a lot of stuff to do, I'm going to be behind, I'm going to all these limiting ways that you set yourself up. You're not even aware that you're having these talks in your head, the story that is playing out. So I'm wanting you to notice what your limiting habits are, and then create new habits. So again, like if you wake up and you're dreading and you just get up and you get going, or you get your phone and you look at your phone and you start going through social media or mail and stuff, and then it gets you all revved up and stuff, stop that. That's a limiting habit. That's not an expansive, supportive action that is fueling you. So first do the fuels in the morning. Fuel yourself. It might be doing breathing exercises. It might be, and it could be a lot of these things, stretching, going and sitting in the sun, having a cup of coffee, being with nature before you even consider touching your phone, taking a walk, drinking good water, all of that stuff. So looking at limiting habits. Also, it's like before a meeting or before you have a client or before you go to work, what is your usual mindset about that, whatever it is that you're doing. Oh, there's going to be a lot of traffic now. There's going to be, oh, I don't want to have that conversation with Susie, and oh, my boss is going to be angry at me. Stop. Those are all stories. 99% of them are not true, will not come true, and it's depleting you and lowering your energy. So you're going to if you keep doing that over and over, that's what you're attracting into your life. That's what you're manifesting into your life. Start seeing your life from a new perspective. How do you want it to be? Like imagine yourself walking into your office down a red carpet, entering the door, or even if that's in your house, people, yay, clapping, cheering you on, you can do it, it's great. See yourself serving them, and what it is that you're bringing to the world, and so you're learning, and you love yourself and you honor yourself, and yes, you're afraid of this, but you're courageous, and you're gonna step forward anyway because you see the bigger potential of who you are. So that's limiting habits. Then how to clean anything that doesn't excite you or doesn't matter to you. So like get rid of the stuff. Again, these would be probably daily habits and stuff, or people that are depleting you, that are draining you, the things that don't matter to you, the things you give yourself away to, you give your power away to, and that does not serve you. Now there's some fine lines. I'm not going to go into all of this about the taking care of others before yourself, because that's the spiritual thing to do. No, that's not. That's what you've been trained to give your power away, and not honor and respect yourself. And so how can you do that to somebody else if you can't do that for yourself? So it's really setting yourself up, and it has other people feeling that you don't feel like you're enough or good enough. And again, that's programming. And so it's looking to see, observing from yourself, where am I doing things like spacing out on social media? are spacing out with TV or gaming, not, you know, not being with people in person. Everything's online or avoiding people. Like living in a house that's cluttered or dirty or does not like you don't feel good there. You're not excited to go home. You want to be like, what's exciting? So it might be exciting for you to clean up your house, clean up your room if it's just a room, or clean up your car so that you feel proud in it. You feel ownership of this beautiful being that you are, and where you're at in your life. So it isn't just like, look, like, are you drinking a lot? Are you doing a lot of pot? Are you you know, doing things that make you feel sick? Are you eating junk food? You know, all of that stuff. Are you working at a job that's really does not honor who you are and is not doesn't care about you? You know, go find another job. I'm just going to leave it at that. And then clean house, clean old stories. So again, observe, what are the stories that you're telling yourself, and so find those stories and then make up new stories. Again, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm broken. I can't do things. I'm so sensitive that life just hurts me. No, you just don't know how to be you and how to protect yourself and how to take care of yourself as a sensitive. That you're alone, you're unsupported, there's you feel unconnected. And again, when you really truly know yourself, you will know you are never alone. You are connected to everything and everyone and everybody. What old stories are dividing people. Again, just because we had an election here, and I know there's elections happening all over the world, just the pointing of the fingers. Remember, every time you point your fingers, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. What are you judging? How are you creating the relationships that you have in your life? How are you co-creating these stories, the things that are happening to your life? So the stories you tell over and over and over again are the stories that come true in your life, that you're manifesting that energy. If you want to change, you have to change those stories. If you want to change, you have to change the frequency of those stories. So there's more unconditional love, kindness, compassion, gratitude, etc. that are in you know in your story. It's those, so looking for all the places that we're dividing, that we're making somebody right and wrong, and understanding that we're all a fractal of God. If we're all a fractal of God, that means even the people who are living out the shadow, those people who are doing, you know, some terrible things, those people are fractals of God also. And some of them are doing those things in order to wake us up so that we can realize that we're a fractal of God and we're unconditional God and we have multidimensional powers and freedom to express who we are. And we just have to step into those and get rid of all this limiting belief, what I'm saying, house cleaning energetically. That's what we're really coming into. Hey, we make a difference. I matter. I'm here for a purpose. And not let somebody else tell you what that purpose is, who you are, how you are, who you should be, and you live out, because God is living through your experiences, is wanting to experience the world through you, through your own expression. And nobody else gets to do this. This is the only planet this is happening on. And so, like, enjoy your life, have fun in your life, create in your life, serve in your life. You know, connect, love deeply. Like, how incredible would life be if we all were thinking about, like, we're united, we take care of each other, we love each other, we respect each other's expressions, and as long as it, is not hurting somebody else, and then we have to have a conversation or something else. I don't know how that would look right now. I don't want to go into that, but I want you to see you're going from those old limiting negative stories that you've been told since you were a little kid, and make up new stories of positive potential outcomes. Start seeing the world how you want to see it. Start seeing your life how you want to see it, experience it, feel that. You're just not like it's blah, 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 blah. Like really feel like you are in that story. You are living the dream. You are living heaven on earth. Okay. Woo. Okay, sorry guys. There's just a lot of information. So the next one is become conscious of how you are contributing to the division in our world. So how to become more conscious. So observe your words, your thoughts, your actions, your stories, right? Just start observing. What are you saying? Are your words spells to cast on somebody that is for their highest potential, or are you wanting to, or are they like a sword wanting to take them down? And what you do to somebody else, you do to yourself. You do to all of humanity. We really have to start thinking like, that you take care of others as if how you would want to be taken care of. You think the things that you want to create in the world. You have to be that. If you want peace in the world, you can't just say there isn't peace and be yelling at people that they're not not doing what's really needed. Or making it somebody else's fault and you're a victim of this. It's like you have to find the peace within you. You have to find where are you creating war? Where are you creating divide? And so it's like for you to find that peace within you and share that peace or share that unconditional love. In your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, your stories, all of that. Like wherever there's a story, wherever you hear blah, 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 that's a story. Where'd you get that story from? Is it yours? Somebody else's? Where'd it come from? Who is it true? Is it really true? It's like start asking these questions. Observe when you're in choice. That's another thing. Like you always have choice. A lot of people feel stuck. I can't get anywhere. That like the world feels like it's stopped and they're stuck in this, stuck in doing the same things over and over. And it's like, no, you have so much choice. You have choice all the time. So start observing when you say this is right, then you say, oh, I can just say this is what I believe right now, but you might be able to change my mind. Or what I know right now is, or what I feel is true, but I'm not 100% true. I'm not 100% sure. Like we can start thinking. I find that people who really are interested in learning about the world, who are interested in engaging in the world, that they start to understand the more that they learn, the less that they know. And there are so many layers to this universe, to this world, to ourselves that we still don't know, that you're going to be learning, that you have no idea about. And so to stay open-minded and to stay in that everything has potential and that you always have a choice. You can always say something and then back down and say, no, that isn't right. Or you can change your mind. You can change your mind every day. That's not being fickle. It's like we learn things. We can put things out as, well, this is what I believe. And then you start talking to people about it. And then you change your mind because it's like, oh, I found out this one aspect of that is not true. And so now I have more research to do, or I don't see it in the same way. So to be more open-minded, observe your beliefs and stories. Again, I said, are they true? And are you positive that they're true? Like really, you can feel something's true, but it's really not true. You can feel like it's like you. Again, this is programming and brainwashing and different things that have happened over time, or things you bring in that are from past lives, or things that have happened that are ancestral. So, and just because you do things a certain way and you believe that to be true, like thinking of yourself not worthy, or thinking of yourself as stupid, or thinking of yourself as not enough, etc., what that is not you. That's not you, but that's how you think of yourself, how you've been taught to think, and you think that's you. But you would say, I am feeling unworthy. Unworthiness is not you. You are feeling that. You are feeling fear. You are not fear. You are feeling successful. You are not success. You are feeling love. Although I would say unconditional love is who you are, because that's the fractal of God. And then apply the division to you. How does it feel? So anywhere that you're seeing division, I want you to apply that to you. So have yourself look at what you're doing to somebody else, and look at yourself like you were doing that to yourself. Or look at it like, well, if I was in their position and then I'm looking at me, how would I see this? How would I see this situation? Like, start to really see that you are part of creating the division. You are part of creating the war. You're part of creating the drama, the chaos, and how, and then think about, once you see this, like, so how can I heal this? How can I help create unity? How can I create peace? How can I create more love, caring, kindness, compassion, gratitude? Like, seeing, one is starting to see yourself and others as that they are a fractal of God, and you have no idea what they're here to experience. You have no right to tell them that they have to do things this way and that way, because again, you don't know what they're here, what their karma is that they're settling, what they came here to experience, in order for them to grow as a soul. Each of us are souls experiencing our own experience here on earth in order to have this experience, right? And to play this game, or to be learning in this earth school. So if you can start to see, like, we're not all supposed to be alike. We're not all we're here to be learning, how can we create heaven on earth? How can we be here to help each other grow and be the best of themselves and ourselves? So that's the update. That was quite a lot, but I feel like this is the energies. These are the things that we're working on. It's not for you just to feel this stuff and not do anything about. Energy updates is about, okay, this is a good time to look at this, to be getting to know ourselves more deeply, to help in this change. We're all helping to change this world. So if you're not working on yourself, then you are not helping. It's like you have got to do your work yourself, come into that, and when you're in that higher energy, higher frequency of if you can see yourself outside of the boxes that you've been in, and that you can see all the potential, and you don't have to know it all. You're going to be growing every single day. You're going to be growing and learning about yourself as we continue on. But every day, just, how can I be a better me? How can I serve more? How can I unite more? How can I love myself more? How can I love others more? How can I love Gaia more? How can I be more connected to Earth and Source and my higher selves? And that's just and one of the things that I do is I ask Source and my team. I just say, what do you need me to know? What do you want me to know that I don't already know? And every day I ask that and put it in front of me, I journal, I let it, let information come through, and that's actually how I do, I let information come through for what I'm experiencing for the energy update, and then what I'm experiencing in that, to put words to it about what's a good what should we be doing right now to help raise the frequency of the energy that we're living in now, so that we're not going to have so much stormy weather. Like, we don't have to have a lot of heavy duty stormy weather in order for us to wake up, if everybody can wake up sooner. And not everybody will wake up at the same time. Everybody's waking up at different times. So again, don't expect and don't think, you know, oh, again, that divide, that right, wrong, the good, bad, the, you know, the hierarchy thing. It's not that. Everybody's in the place where they're supposed to be, learning what they're supposed to be doing, and nothing is wrong. Nothing where anybody is not wrong. The homeless person is doing what they want to experience. And if they want to experience something different, they have all the opportunity to change. And that has happened to many people. And some of those homeless people are there for you to see, in order for you to wake up and say, I don't want to be there, or how can I see the love that's God in that person as well as in me, as far, so different ways of waking up by seeing different events, experiencing different experiences, and connecting with Source and the love that we are. All right, until we meet again, love, live, and matter. Thank you. Take care. Please share this. Please like this. And I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.